Hello everyone, welcome back to Vlogmas Day 17. Christmas is like a week away now, so I figured I would give you guys a list of my favorite Christmas movies. I have 15 of them. And I just thought now would be a great time, so if you haven't seen any of them, I can give you a bit of a review of my thoughts, and then you might want to watch them. So let's get started. So in at number 15, we have A White Christmas. And this movie, it's a bit older. It came out in 1954. In it, we have Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, and Vera Ellen. And a little fun fact about this movie, Rosemary Clooney is actually George Clooney's aunt. So I didn't see this movie until about 2 years ago. I saw it for the first time when I was at my aunt's. We have this annual thing every year where we watch Christmas movies, and she suggested this one, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I ended up loving it. It's honestly really good. It's about two guys who were together in the army, and they go on to have a singing career, and then they get romantically involved with these two sisters who are also singers. It sounds not that interesting, but I promise you it's really good. In at number 14, A Charlie Brown Christmas. Now this movie came out in 1965, so it's also a bit of an older one. So most people know about this movie. It's really popular. It's literally on TV every year. It just has cute songs and then the cute, adorable, sad little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. In at number 13, Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean. And this came out in 1992. Now most people overlook Mr. Bean as a holiday movie, but it's honestly so hilarious. So in this movie, Mr. Bean takes down the town's Christmas tree by dragging it with his car. He gives his teddy bear tacks for eyes, and he puts a turkey on his head and scares his lady friend. So it's just a bunch of hilarity all in one episode. In at number 12, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. This movie came out in 1997, and it brought a lot of new characters. It was an interesting storyline, and it also takes place during the actual Beauty and the Beast movie. So it's kind of like in between the middle of the movie, which is pretty cool. And in the movie, Belle's trying to give everyone a nice Christmas, and then the Beast doesn't want it, so he doesn't let her have it, but then he does, and it's just so magical. In at number 11, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So this movie came out in 1989, and at first I was so against watching it. I watched it for the first time 2 years ago because my fiance was like, we need to watch it, you'll love it. It was like the only Christmas movie I didn't really want to watch. I watched it. It was hilarious, and then last year I actually bought the little moose mugs, and so now I watch it every year. It's honestly a really funny movie. In at number 10, I'll Be Home for Christmas, and this movie came out in 1998. The two main characters are Jessica Biel, aka Justin Timberlake's wife, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas, aka every 90s teenage girl crush. This movie's pretty funny, it's pretty cute, and then at one point there's a Santa race, so who doesn't like that? In at number 9, Christmas with the Kranks. And this movie came out in 2004, and it stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen. And this movie pretty much embodies my Christmas community goals. I mean, they all have huge frosties on the roof, and they all decorate their houses. So in this movie, basically we see the daughter Blair leaving for the Peace Corps, so her parents think they can skip Christmas. But then she tells them she's coming home for the holidays, so last minute they're scrambling and trying to get everything together. And so that's pretty funny to watch, and then at the end there's a very touching part, and they will just make you cry your eyes out. In at number 8, we have Miracle on 34th Street, and this is a remake, and it came out in 1994. And this movie stars beloved child actor Mara Wilson. So basically this movie is about a little girl who doesn't believe in Santa Claus because her mother told her he isn't real. But then she meets a department store Santa who tries to change her mind. And P.S., spoiler alert, he is the real Santa. In at number 7, we have It's a Wonderful Life, and this movie came out in 1946. So this is my dad's all-time favorite movie. Every year we go to the theater, just the two of us, and we watch it. It's a nice little tradition we have. So yeah, this movie just holds a really nice memory. In at number 6, we have Elf, which came out in 2003, and it is hilarious. It created a new holiday favorite dish for everyone, which is syrup and pasta. I'm still not brave enough to try that. And my favorite part of the movie is when they're having a snowball fight, and Elf flings the snowball, and you see this little boy way in the distance, he's running away, and then the snowball slowly goes towards him, then hits him in the back, and he goes, ah! And he falls down. It's hilarious. In at number 5, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And this movie came out in 1964. We're introduced to a young Rudolph who feels like a misfit due to his shiny nose. So he runs off, meets some friends along the way, and in the end, he saves Christmas. So in this movie is my favorite Christmas character ever, Yukon Cornelius. I think he's so cute. And when he sticks out his tongue, I just die laughing. In at number 4, Dr. Seuss' How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now this movie came out in 1966. And it was a straight-to-TV movie. And it's adorable, and everyone loved it so much that they later came out in 2000 with a live-action remake starring Jim Carrey as the Grinch. And that one is pretty great as well. I would recommend watching that too. In at number 3, This Santa Claus. This movie came out in 1994, and I just think it's the perfect Christmas movie. This one also stars Tim Allen, so I guess he really loves Christmas movies. And this is actually the first movie I watched of this Christmas season, and it's a must-see. I definitely recommend it. In at number 2, A Christmas Story. This movie came out in 1983. And every year, me and my family watch it on Christmas Eve. We absolutely love it. And this summer, I actually went to the real life Christmas Story house, which is in Cleveland. So after this vlog, feel free to go check out that one. It's actually really cool because it's the house that they actually filmed in, and all the props are still there, like someone turned it into a museum, so it's really, really cool. And in at number 1, we have Home Alone, which came out in 1990. And it stars Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, and Catherine O'Hara. So I absolutely love this movie. There's so many great one-liners, it's hilarious. So it's about a boy who's left on home at Christmas, and 2 guys try to break in his house, but he doesn't let them. He must defend his house, so he does. He puts all these funny little booby traps all over the house, and it's just genius. And then at the end, there's this scene where his mother comes home and you get teary-eyed, but then there's a scene at the end where he looks out the window and he sees a neighbor, and I'm not gonna say what happens, but you just bawl your eyes out. It's really touching. And then this movie was so successful that they came out with Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, and that movie came out in 1992. And the sequel is just as good as the original. It's rare to have that with movies, but this one definitely, that's what it is. They're both really amazing. Well, there you guys have it. That is my list of my favorite Christmas movies. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay happy, stay Christmassy, and I will see all of you lovely people tomorrow.